I'd be curious to find out with this copper ore in... Oh my gosh, that's just nether diamond? What? Oh gosh! Oh no! Unprepared! Unprepared for this. Howdy there, folks! How are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and welcome back to our Tekkit 2 Let's Play adventure, where today we're going to be doing magic and also building a shield, because we need one of those, and that's not going to be a particularly difficult task to accomplish. In fact, I think we'll probably go ahead and do that first. But first things first, I did want to address that the oak chest. We built a new one, and we put all of our blocks in there, and then we have all of our sort of plant-related items in here, and I realized that bones and leather and feathers aren't really plant-related, but they come from animals. So it's sort of nature-esque, same reason there's a scoop in here, which I believe that came in our bonus chest, if I'm not mistaken, or we stole it from a village. Episode 0 things, it's been so long ago. And then this is our chest of basically everything else. So all of our dusts and ores. Just, you know, hoping to keep my inventory a little bit more tidy this episode and not have sort of the mess and disaster that was the previous episode when it came to inventory management. Now, like I said, today, first things first, we're going to build a shield. Then we're going to build some divining rods so that hopefully we can go find a few more diamonds. And then we can get a Philosopher's Stone. Now, I did want to point out, we don't necessarily need to go get diamonds. We don't need a diamond pick to get the obsidian that we need to build a nether portal so that we can go to the nether and get glowstone dust. What we could do is we could take lava in buckets and bring it up to the surface. We could build a frame, perhaps out of dirt or sand or obsidian, and we could one by one place the lava, pour water on top of it, turn it into obsidian, and then do it again until we have built a frame in that manner. But that just seems like so much work, and it seems like it would take so long, and it would be such a unbearably slow process. I'd rather go look for diamonds. We need some more diamonds anyway, and hopefully we'll find quite a few. But first off, let's pretend like I remember where I stored everything here, because I do. No pretending necessary. I know where everything is here. We're going to build a shield, because a shield will be necessary to help us survive. And yes, I've not built enough shields in my time to remember where they're located, because I'm behind in the Minecraft times. That's all I can say to you. Shields have been around for a long time now, and they're still basically new to me. With the shield finished, tap A to get rid of it. Next up, we're going to start working on the divining rod. Now, each divining rod requires the previous one to construct it. So we're going to start from the base. Now, a divining rod, if you've never used one, you know what, let's build it. And then I'll show you what it does. But that's going to require a few different layers of covalence dust. So we're going to start off with one that requires any type of stone. I think cobblestone primarily. Oh, cool, we have chisel in this mod pack. That's going to make for some really interesting building scenarios. I'm excited. And charcoal. Charcoal specifically. You can't do this with regular coal. And I know that's just an absolute nightmare, isn't it? Because we have just absolutely so much coal, a whole 10 coal. But there we go, we've got our charcoal. We're going to combine that in here with our cobblestone that I meant to grab when I opened this chest a moment ago. And create our low covalence dust. And then we're going to wait till it's nighttime, there we go, and we're going to sleep, because the night is dark and full of terror. Now we're going to take our stick, we're going to surround it with low covalence dust and build a divining rod. Now the divining rod, you'll see there mode 3x3x3. That means that if we take our our divining rod, we right click on a block, for a 3x3 block radius beneath us, it'll tell us what the average EMC is. So right now the average EMC for 27 blocks, it's the 3x3 cube beneath us, is 1, because dirt has a value of 1 EMC. Now, EMC is something we're going to explain in more detail here in a bit when we actually get to the Philosopher's Stone and the Transmutation Table, but I guess quick prep, everything in the world has an EMC value. So the value of a single covalence dust is 1, or at least for the low one. Value for a single iron ingot is 256. Once we have a Transmutation Table, we can take iron, convert that into raw EMC, so we'll have 256 EMC, and then if we wanted to, we could turn that into 256 dirt. Or it can go in the other direction. We can have multiple iron ingots. I think 4 will equal up to maybe a gold. It might actually be 8 iron to get a single piece of gold. 4 gold to get a diamond. We can basically convert any item we have into any other item, provided those items have enough EMC. Hopefully that makes sense. If you've ever seen Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, you'll probably know what we're talking about here. I've seen one episode of one of those, because in my last Tekkit series, the #1 comment I got was from folks saying, "Oh, so it's like Full Metal Alchemist." And I said, I don't know what that is. But I watched an episode, it looked intriguing. I believe it was Brotherhood. I think they're 2 different shows. I'll get back to it someday. It's been 10 years. It's not been 10 years. It's been 7, but I'll get back to it. Anyway, this is not particularly useful because it only shows the average EMC for a 3x3x3 radius. The Divining Rod Medium can be extended to, I believe, 3x3x16, so it'll go much further. And not only will it show us the average, it'll also show us what the greatest item is, right? So if there's a diamond in there, that'll be about 8,000, and it'll show us, yeah, the average is about, 56, but there is something in there worth 8,000, and we'll know it's a diamond, something equivalent to a diamond. The high level one, I think, goes up to 64 blocks, and each subsequent tier can be lowered. They have different modes to work on the lower tier. So the medium one can either do a 16 depth or a 3 depth. This one can either do a 64 depth, a 16 depth, or a 3 depth. You get the idea. In order to get the highest level one, it will require a diamond, which we do have, but it's not what we're going to be spending our diamonds on right now. I think a medium one will do just fine. So that's going to need medium covalence dust, which is redstone and iron. So this is something that you can get. Before, we talked about how you could build the stone macerator once you had, basically, I think it was 4 pieces of iron. Around that same time, if you're willing to sacrifice an extra piece of iron and some redstone that you can get using your iron pick, then you could also get the covalence dust, and it will help you mine much more efficiently. So it's definitely going to be worth it, because, and I'll show you once we go down to the mines, it's going to make finding where you need to mine and getting good stuff just a lot quicker and easier. So we'll get the Divining Rod Medium, leave all of this behind, and we're going to need torches. And we're going to head down into the ground. We've only got 2 coal left now, so we're going to leave that behind. And goodness, you know what? Our bronze pickaxe is not looking too good. We could build a new one. We're probably not going to be using tools with durability much longer, but if we were going to, something else that we could build is the Repair Talisman, or Talisman of Repair. Yeah, Repair Talisman, which requires 1 of each covalence dust, so again, that's 1 of our diamonds. It also requires string and paper, but this will, well, on a pedestal, it will repair nearby players' items, and it restores 1 durability every 1 second. But I think it'll also work in our inventory. But then again, the 1 diamond isn't even the issue. We just got rid of our last piece of coal. So I guess we can't. I was actually going to do it. I was going to say, you know what? Let's go ahead and, it's a good investment in our future. Let's just go ahead and make that next tier covalence dust. We will upgrade our Divining Rod, which I guess we can get rid of the low and medium. We can upgrade it to a high, and then we'll have a Repair Talisman. But unfortunately, no, I was not paying enough attention. And that is on me. That is my mistake. I am sorry. Let's head into the mine. So, we want to find diamonds, and we want to see if there's any hidden around here, close by to where we've already been mining. Maybe we can just chance upon some. This is where I found the 2 diamonds before. So what we can do now is we can go over here, and we can try in this direction. Now, it's going to start out in the lower mode, so it's only going to be scanning a 3x3x3 grid directly in front of us. And because we have the medium tier one, you see it now shows the max EMC, so we know that the average is 10, but there's something back there worth 256, which we don't know what that is, but, I mean, it could potentially just be some iron. And, oh, it's 10. That makes sense. If you want to get it to a higher tier, that's the wrong button. I was very confident about that as well, because I did it in the live stream, and I thought I could remember. Oh, it's on G! Change mode is on G. So, tap G while you have it selected in your hotbar, and it'll switch to 16x3x3 mode, and then you can switch it back to 3x3x3 if you want to, but 16x3x3 We'll now scan 3 up, 3 to the side, and 16 in depth. And it shows us that the maximum we're going to find that way is 256. So probably maybe some iron, maybe some more tin. We're looking for diamonds, though. And I'm not going to waste my time digging to get to anything other than diamonds. Oh! 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 Okay, well, that's like this direction. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, so remember, this is where we already found 2 diamonds. Okay, well... They were literally right here. I guess I could have dug a little bit deeper and realized that there was a couple of more in this vicinity. But let's go a little bit deeper. Any more? No, we're not missing any more. Well, that's 2 more, so that brings our total up to 4, which is exactly how much we needed for what I had planned for today. But it'd be nice if we could find some more. So that's 512. Can't think off the top of my head of what would be valued at 512. But, yep, still in this direction. Let's go find out. Ooh. Okay, it could be the silicon ore, or it could be the electrotine ore. I don't know what this stuff is or what it does. It could be useful in the future. We've also got aluminum up there, so it might be worth going ahead and collecting it. Okay, so the electrotine is 120, and then that's 32, so there's still something of a higher value in this direction. One thing I did want to note is things like ores do not have an EMC value in their raw ore state. So if we find gold ore or iron ore, and we put that in our inventory, if we look at it inside of our inventory, it will show that it has just no value at all, right? It won't even come up with any EMC value whatsoever. But the divining rod knows what the value of, let's say, a gold ingot is. So it will tell us, okay, so here we have silver. This is probably what we were seeing. You see, silver doesn't show that it has a value, but if we cook it up, it will have, the actual ingot will have a value, and the divining rod knows that, so it'll tell you, oh yeah, there's something worth 512. So there's something worth 2,048 in that direction. And 2,048, if I'm not mistaken, is gold. So when we pick up the gold, it'll show that the gold has no EMC value at all. But yeah, there it is. The divining rod knows that a gold ore itself, having been cooked up, is worth that much. I know it sounds like I'm some sort of an expert, and I realized this as I was going through the footage from the last episode. I am speaking in my tutorial voice. I have 2 different voices that I use when I record videos. One is my normal, I'm recording a video and having a conversation with the audience. This is how I talk in videos. This is how I talk in real life. It's just my normal voice, which is, I guess, what I'm doing right now. But then when I'm doing a tutorial, I have this very particular cadence of, okay, and now we're going to take our ore over here, you know, like that. And I don't know why I'm doing that. I guess it's because I know what I'm talking about right now. I just want to go ahead and get in front of everyone and just let you all know. In about 2 or 3 episodes' time, we'll have done all the things that I know, and we'll be in no man's land. We'll all have no clue what to do next, and it'll be just nonsense and mayhem from that point forward. And you will not hear the tutorial voice ever again. You'll get a lot of like, what? Why is this not working? You're gonna get a lot of that. I also understand that a lot of the folks watching this are long-time subscribers who are just excited to see more Tekkit, and you don't really need a tutorial. You know these things, in many cases better than I do, so I apologize if last episode, this episode, maybe the next couple feel a bit repetitive. I do have some plans for our future, though. Things are not going to remain super familiar. We've got some different goals this time around compared to previous. Hey! That is possibly more diamonds in this direction. But compared to, you know, the greats, the classics of old, you know, the Tekkit Legends, the Tekkit Main, and the Tekkit Classic, there's going to be some different goals this time. Trust me. Okay, so that is now a total of 7 diamonds, which is enough to be getting on with. I think we're going to be pretty good for a while with those. And then, of course, once we have the Philosopher's Stone, we can turn gold into diamonds. And then once we have the Transmutation Table, we can turn anything into diamonds. I'm going to combine our 2 bronze pickaxes to get a slightly more healthy 1 bronze pickaxe and take up less space in my inventory. And then we're going to head out of here. So that's the divining rod, and hopefully you can see how just immensely useful it is for finding things. 256, oh, 2,000. So there's probably more gold in that direction. Something to find another day, perhaps. We really need to find more coal. Oh, actually, before we go back up, let's see if we can find some more coal. Mayhaps if we dig here on level 35 in the direction of what we think is probably going to be gold. It could be something else that just has the same value as gold. I'm just assuming it's gold, but maybe the gold will be surrounded by coal. Seems unlikely. Ooh, uranium. Uranium, surely, yeah. It does have the same value as gold, so that's probably what we were looking at there. Coal has a value of 128, so it could be in this direction, but I think a lot of things have a value of 128, so it could also... Oh, it is coal. Thank goodness. Something interesting to note is that there are better forms of... I don't want to say coal, but there are better forms of fuel that you can make using coal that are part of ProjectE. So ProjectE is what's responsible for the Talisman of Repair, the Divining Rods, Transmutation Tables, Philosopher Stones, everything with EMC, or everything to do with EMC, is more or less from ProjectE. And ProjectE also has things like the alchemical coal, which is created, we have to have a Philosopher Stone first, but the recipe for it is 4 coal, and the Philosopher's Stone gives you the alchemical coal, and the Philosopher's Stone is not consumed in these recipes. But this would burn, because it's 4 coal, it'll burn 4 times longer. But then you can use that to create Mobius fuel, not to be confused with Morbius. It's not Morbin time, don't get excited. We can also then create an explosion if we have TNT. That's an option, you could do it, I'm not recommending it, I'm just saying. It can also be used to make Aeternalis fuel, which, again, every time you do this, it'll multiply the amount of burn time by 4. Eventually, you can make the Aeternalis fuel block, which will burn a very long time, or you can make dark matter, which we'll need in the future. Yeah, okay, so a single Aeternalis fuel will burn or cook 512 items, can also be used in a furnace, obviously, but then that means that this, the Aeternalis fuel block, smelts 4,608 items, or can be used in a generator to run machines for a very long time. Coal blocks are also a thing, and you could make coal blocks if you wanted to and put those in your generators, but, I mean, come on. Mobius fuel. That's the way to go. Tell you what we could use right now is a Destruction Catalyst. That would make mining a lot quicker and easier. The Destruction Catalyst is, if I remember correctly, yeah, not all that complicated to build. We will need something to fuel it, though, so it runs on EMC. And to collect EMC, we will need a Klein Star, and there's many different tiers, but we should probably start with the basic one. And I always pronounce them incorrectly, and I'm always corrected in the comments section, so by all means, get your keyboards ready, because you start off with the Klein Star Ein, the Klein Star Zwei, the Klein Star Drei, the Klein Star Vier, and the Klein Star Sphere, which I can do that one. And then there's the Omega. The last two are the easiest, but the Ein is a diamond and then Mobius fuel. So they're kind of expensive. Oh, what a beautiful rainy day. I love a good rainy day. I'm a little concerned about monsters, but hopefully once we get inside of our fence, we'll be fine. Guess we'll go ahead and leave some of this stuff to process while we go and start collecting the necessary obsidian for the next stage of this operation. First things first, we will make our diamond pickaxe. We only need this for 8 obsidian, or I'm actually going to do a 3x3 portal, so 9. But we can break this down into EMC afterwards, so it's not like we're going to be losing those diamonds. I am going to create a block of coal in order to keep the generator running. And then I'm going to use one of our diamonds along with a piece of coal to create the next tier high covalence dust, and we will use that to upgrade the Divining Rod medium into a Divining Rod high. Take that off, and then we're also going to build a Repair Talisman, which, ooh, we only have 1 string. I know that wool can be made from string, but can you go the other way with it? I feel like I asked that question a lot. Yes, if we have a wool gen, which requires an iron coil, which requires iron and a draw plate, which requires block of iron post and diamond panel? No, I guess. Oh, here we go. Wool and a macerator. That's okay. We can definitely manage that. Thank goodness. I was starting to get a little bit concerned. Take that out of there. Get that out of there. Paper we can handle because we do have the sugar cane growing down by the water, and we collected some of that in the last episode. So we need 2 each of all the covalence dusts. We need string. We need paper. Repair Talisman. We'll take that out. Keep it in our inventory. And I'm not sure if it's going to work. It might need to be in our hotbar along with our items. But theoretically, if it does work in our inventory... Oh, look at that. Yeah, the sword's repairing. Awesome. Here's the catch, though. I'm not entirely sure if it works with every tool or only tools that have EMC values. So we're going to move the bronze pickaxe down here, and we'll see if it starts healing itself. But looks like it's definitely working on the sword. Now, we are off! Off to collect obsidian! You know what, while I was heading down here, I realized that something else we haven't built yet. I like that we just stopped on the ladder while I do this. Is the project table, or the project bench, which is like a crafting table, but it has a bit of inventory, and it also holds the items that you put into the crafting area. Might be nice to have. We should probably build one of those. Not really a magical item, but still could be useful. Now, I already know where there is some obsidian. Come across it a few times, and yeah, look, the bronze pickaxe is being repaired. Now, one of the useful things with Wayla is if you hold it in your hand, it always pops down when a repair operation. Anyway, the useful thing about Wayla, which is what's at the top of the screen there, it stands for what am I looking at, is that it does tell you whether or not you can harvest something with a tool you are currently holding in your hand. So, yes, we can absolutely harvest the obsidian. We're going to want to be careful here, because there could potentially be lava underneath this obsidian, and I don't want to break it and fall in, or worse, spend, all the time it takes to harvest obsidian and then, lose it. So we're going to get down here, and we're going to start digging out from under all of this, and yeah, determining where is safe and where is not. Jeez, yeah, it's all over the place here. I guess we're just gonna have to break these one at a time and be careful. I don't know how I did my math wrong. For some reason I thought I would need 9 to do a big square portal, but now that I think about it, 9 is how many blocks is on the inside. We'll need 12 in order to complete it. So let's fill all of this in with cobblestone for the sake of safety. And then let's get out of here. That's pretty peaceful around here. I guess that's owing to all of the lights. If you look out into the distance, it's pretty scary. Oh, gosh, oh, gosh, go to bed. Go to bed. Get to sleep. Go to sleep, please. 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 I don't want to fight a skeleton. Oh, we do have a shield now, though, so we probably could. Maybe we should go give it our best. While they're already dying to the sun and we have basically no chance of losing. Nice. Alright, now where to build the portal? We could, it would be cool on top of the volcano, but it would also be quite the journey to get there every time we wanted to go in and out of it. But also, it would be cool on top of the volcano. Granted, it isn't much of a volcano. Still, what is that? Oh, it's gotta be some kind of weird tree. Or tower? Oh, it's a tree. That's unfortunate. I was hoping for a really cool tower. So I think from over there, it's going to look really cool to have this on the other side of this lava. But we don't want it, like, right up against the lava, because then we could be in a terrible situation where we get out of the portal and walk immediately into lava, and that would be way less than ideal. And I'll tell you what, I'm already realizing why this was a bad idea. Because not only are we really far away from base, we're also really far away from the materials I need to build the flint and steel. So now we go back home. Flint and iron, we're going to bring that with us to the Nether in case our portal gets knocked out. How? Gets knocked out. How? 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 Knocked out. Oh yeah, that does look kind of cool. I forgot we had a boat. We can be using our boat to save on time, if I could steer it correctly. One way to keep the portal safe from mobs might be, and I don't know if they're in here, but interdiction torches. These repel mobs. Now, they're not cheap. They require 3 diamonds. They require glowstone. But not only do they light up an area and prevent monsters from spawning, any monsters that do spawn cannot go within a certain radius of them. I want to say 8 blocks. I might be off on that. But there we go. There's our big portal. Let's see how it looks over here. Fantastic. It'd be cool if there was more lava. You know, it'd be cool if the volcano were a little bit more volcano-y. It's a little bit of a flat volcano. It's old. It's existed for a really long time, and it's just kind of it's end of life, this volcano. It's resting, it's enjoying its golden years, it's not trying to impress anyone anymore. And I respect that. So what we're here for, specifically, is glowstone, but there's no reason why we're here, why we couldn't go ahead and just grab some nether quartz. Remember, everything you can grab is EMC. I gave that advice to, I believe, during the live stream, where I was first testing out this pack. I believe it was Maria Amor, who commented that that was some of the first advice I gave in my Tekkit Legends series, it must have been, and that they still remembered it to this day, which I thought was cool. I'd be curious to find out with this copper ore in... Oh my gosh, that's just nether diamond? What? Oh gosh! Oh no! Unprepared! Unprepared for this! Unprepared for this! Okay, so yes, much like in previous versions of the game, of the mod pack, if you mine up the nether ores, the locals get mad at you. Okay, we're still alive. What I was going to say is, in previous mod packs, the nether ores, when smelted, would give you 2 ingots per ore. But then also, if you ran them through the... Oh gosh, they can also blow up sometimes, I remember that now. If you ran them through a macerator, they would give you 4 dusts. So, your 1, let's say, gold nether ore, would give you 4 dust and therefore 4 ingots, making each individual block worth quadruple what you initially would think it would be, which was really cool. That took a while for me to get out because now I'm on edge. I'm paranoid. We came here for glowstone. There's some right above the portal. Let's get that and get out of here. The locals hate me now. So it's definitely worth mining here, and if quarries are in this pack, it's funny, I haven't even wondered about that until just now. It's definitely worth setting up one here. It's a bit complicated, because lava can wreck your quarries. There are ways to mitigate that, at least in the overworld. In Tekkit Legends, there was a really handy device that you could press a button and it would block up all the lava that was flowing into your quarry. I don't think that's going to be an option here. Water will also not be an option here because this is the Nether. And one cannot bring water into the Nether. It's a classic Nether thing. Okay, well, let's get out of here, and while we fast travel out, I'm going to check real quick whether or not there is some sort of well, we fast traveled. I wanted to see whether or not there was a something or another, maybe a pendant or a brooch or a nice pair of earrings that would allow us to travel to the Nether instantly upon coming into contact with the portal, because that is a thing in other mod packs, and I just was wondering if it was here. I guess also I want to find out whether or not we have a quarry. Oh, we do! We got Zeta Industries! Okay, so you've got your quarry and your quarry fixer. Okay, well, we are back. The portal looks great up there on top of our little volcano. Time to put this to the test. What happens if we put the nether diamond ore inside of a macerator? We'll have to come back and check on that, or we'll wait, because if I just keep talking, this will complete before I even manage to finish my sentence. 5 diamonds! Hot diggity. I'm assuming a single nether copper ore, again, will give us 4 dust. So yeah, definitely worth mining in the nether. Let's see. Yep, 4 copper dust. And then that can be cooked into more copper ingots. And what's great about that entire adventure is all of our tools are still fully repaired, thanks to the Repair Talisman. I believe if you have 2 Repair Talisman, I don't think they stack, but they will double the rate at which your tools repair themselves, which doesn't feel necessary. Now, I know that the Repair Talisman works in certain kinds of chests. I don't know if it'll work in a regular chest to start repairing these things, but I'd be interested in finding out. So we're going to leave that in there for a bit and see if anything happens, and specifically looking at these items. And if it doesn't, that's not too shocking, because like I said, I think there's a particular kind of chest we would need to make that work. Righto! Philosopher Stone requires redstone, glowstone, and a single diamond. We have 2 of the 3 objects that we need. Let's go ahead and get some more redstone, and we are ready to craft the Philosopher's Stone. Useful things you can do with a Philosopher's Stone. If you hover over it and you tap C, you have a mobile crafting grid. If you look at the ground and you right-click, you can turn grass into sand, turn it back into grass. Shift right-click, turn it into stone. Cobblestone, regular stone, back to cobblestone, back to grass. It's cool. It's handy. It does more. If we have it inside of a crafting grid, I wonder if this is shaped crafting. It is not. Remember what I said before about 4 gold being the equivalent to a diamond? Well, you make a diamond, and it doesn't do any sort of damage. It doesn't get rid of your Philosopher's Stone. I think you can go back in the other direction. I wonder, though, if we could get obsidian with it. So obsidian, okay, well, we'd need lava, unfortunately. Maybe a bucket of lava would work, I'm not sure. But what we need to do is we need to go get some more obsidian from deep underground, because we're going to need 4 pieces to build the Transmutation Table. And we're going to need 1 extra one to put into the Transmutation Table. So we need to go get 5 more pieces. I know it feels like we're moving on from the Philosopher's Stone. It can do a lot of really other cool things. I mean, there's a ton of objects just in the world that you can use it with. For instance, did you want jungle wood, acacia wood, dark oak, spruce, birch? It's really cool. It's really handy. But for right now, we got something else we need to go do. And yeah, this has had no effect on anything inside of here. I did not think that it would, because there's a different chest that we would need. I think it still works like this. In the older days, you could get an alchemical chest, and that would do it. Righto, though. Underground we go. That is 5 obsidian. Yeah. And let's get out of here. For some reason in my mind, I have a memory of being able to use 4 logs to create obsidian with the Philosopher's Stone. But I must just be crazy, right? That wasn't an option that we saw. I mean, we'll try real quick. But, yeah. I guess I was just crazy. That's a shame. Boy, I sure hope the Nether copper ore doesn't blow up our macerator. I don't think that's a thing that can happen. I don't think that's a thing that can happen. Okay, so we need stone. I know it says chiseled stone, but it's any type of regular stone, obsidian, and the Philosopher's Stone to get the Transmutation Table. And now the game begins in earnest. So we're going to shift right-click that onto the crafting table. You don't have to. You can put it anywhere you want to. I like to keep mine there for easy access, and when we right-click it, I just sat up in my seat. I'm so excited. So this is what I was talking about before. This is where the fun begins. Now, I'm not used to it looking like this. I'm used to playing this with the Sphax, the pure BD craft, or DB craft, whichever direction. I couldn't find one for Tekkit 2. I found plenty that were 1.12 packs, and maybe that would have worked, but we can get the feel for this. So now we can just start throwing items in there, right? We can dump in all of our cobblestone, and as you see, it says learned, so we can toss it all in there. If you want to unlearn it, a recipe, what you can do is put it somewhere on the screen. I can't recall where. Oh, right here. Boom, unlearned. But we definitely want it to be learned. So we can just throw all of our oak wood in there. We can throw basically anything with a value. The obsidian. That's why we got an extra piece of obsidian. Let's just throw everything in here. Why not? Right? Like, we might as well. Boom. Look at that. It's all gone. Not this, because it doesn't have an EMC value. But, oh, we could even throw the Philosopher's Stone in there if we wanted to. We can get it back out. The reason that this was not popular in Tekkit Classic, and the reason that I loved it in Tekkit Legends, is this bar right up here. You didn't have a search bar in Tekkit Classic. The search bar changes this into the most useful thing in the mod pack. It is amazing. It'll store your EMC, so we have our EMC over here. I think it'll only store a limited amount, so you're going to want to build a Klein Star to store some extra in a chest somewhere, carry it around with you. It's basically an EMC battery, really. This means, though, that we don't need chests full of objects. Look, I can get all of these out of here. And, again, it will depend on which ones have EMC values. You'll notice not all of them do. But then if I want to, let's say I need some type of seed, type it in, it'll come up over here. It knows the recipe. And then so long as we have enough EMC for it, so we have 138,000 EMC, we can get seeds out. We can get stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of seeds. Now it's not infinite. It's going to use our EMC. But once we start to run out of EMC, we can use other items to replenish it. So let's say we just needed diamonds, man. I mean, there they are right there. Look at that. We got 16 diamonds. Now we're out of EMC. But guess what? We have value. Items of value over here. The items of big value. Now, we got more diamonds out of that chest. But ignoring that, if we put the processed items... Okay, well, we didn't have that many. We had enough to get another diamond, though. You see where I'm going with this? No need to store large quantities of items anymore. All right, sorry, I had to take a nap. All right, we don't need this chest anymore, full of all of these random objects. We can store all of these inside of here, and we can pull them back out as we need them. You'll notice that it's not taking our dust. So if we want to convert dust in there, we'll have to cook it into ingot form, which I'm perfectly happy to do. This is going to make building our house, though, so much faster, because we will be able to get whatever raw materials that we need to build it right out of here. So right now, what I'm thinking is it would be really nice. I'm going to go ahead and teach that in there as well, so we can get another one if we need to. But right now, I'm thinking it would be really nice to have a diamond axe, so that I can cut down all of these chests that we no longer need. Because we got the one chest here with the items that don't have an EMC value, which we'll still need to sort and deal with, and there are better ways of doing it than we are right now. I can go ahead and use my axe to chop up all these chests, throw them inside of here, get their EMC, and then look at that, our axe is repaired, courtesy of the Repair Talisman. We can get back literally everything we spent on it. The 2 sticks and the 3 diamonds worth of EMC. Just dump that back in there. We can grab another one as needs be. I don't even know where I got a golden sword. Probably from fighting a monster, but I can get one of those if I need it. So for all the pros, there are some cons. First off, if you are playing multiplayer, you will not be able to, at least in previous versions, and I'm assuming it holds true today, you will not be able to share your EMC value in here with a friend. You can dump it into a Klein Star and give them that Klein Star, and then they can use it, but that'll necessitate exchanging Klein Stars. Also, they will not have the same recipes inside of the Transmutation Table. This is specific to individual players. So if you're on a server and you have a lot of really cool stuff learned in your Transmutation tablet, or table, I should say. A tablet is a thing. It's a mobile version of one of these anywhere you are in the world. It's also very expensive, though, as it requires dark matter blocks, which one of those is worth twice as much EMZ as we currently have. So we're ways off from building one of these, but, you know, in the future, hopefully. Now, we are running out of fuel fast, so let's create something else that we talked about before. We're going to grab 4 coal, and we're going to... Actually, we don't even really need to use the crafting table. We can use this bad boy here with our 4 coal to get the alchemical coal. We can toss that inside of here and get 4 alchemical coal out. This is going to start getting costly. I know I just said we didn't need to use this crafting table, but here we are. So at this point, this is worth 2,000 EMC all by its lonesome. So if we go any higher from this, they're going to start getting so expensive that it's going to consume all of the EMC that we currently have on tap. We can put that in there, and then we can get 4 of those out. And those are worth... it's basically 4 diamonds worth of material here. And then actually, if we wanted to make the next tier, we would need 9 of them, because that would be this ridiculous bad boy here, the Aeternalis fuel block, which is a bit much. We're not going to use that. We are going to take 1 Aeternalis fuel and put it inside of the generator, and that's going to be burning for a very long time. Next up, let's make the project bench. I think it was 4 planks, and then a chest, and then we're actually just going to go ahead and use this crafting table here. Actually, give me an axe. Make this a bit quicker. We'll craft it inside of here. Project bench also has an EMC value. How about that? I think we can teach it items without throwing them into the fire here if we place them into this middle piece, and then that way we won't have to search for them again. So, I mean, how would I even go about demoing that? Are you harvestable yet? Is anything over here on these plants harvestable? Oh, you know what? Bit of fencing. That'll be perfect. Okay, apparently we already taught it. Gate, though. Actually, we probably did that as well. Torch. Probably that as well. I don't remember what all we've already placed inside of here. If you place this in here, it'll show you items somewhat related to it, although, ironically, it didn't show fencing. Birch wood has not been taught to the system. I'm relatively confident about that. Birch wood has been taught to the system. Birch planks, though, I've definitely never built. There we go. They're learned, and then we can pull them back out and use them. All of that just to get that 1 point across. Hopefully it was worth it. Project bench. Like I said, it's got a little bit of storage down here, and also, if we stick items inside of here, we can walk away and come back and they'll still be there. This is unfamiliar to me. I have no explanations for any of that. But the project bench is useful, it's nice to have, and I'm happy to have one. So up next, we can get rid of both of these, and we can discuss the Destriction Catalyst and the Klein Star. These are going together because you kind of need both of them. The Destruction Catalyst, it can be used if you have, let's say, coal, or I think even redstone in your inventory. It'll consume that as fuel, but it's better to have a Klein Star, which is like an EMC battery, as discussed previously. So we're going to need quite a bit of Mobius fuel. It's Mobian time? That was dumb. Surrounding a diamond. I regret that. I regret it dearly. That'll give us the Klein Star Ein. Teach that to the system. And then if we have, I believe, 4 of them, we can create the next tier. And this more or less just determines how much energy it can store, with each subsequent tier able to hold a lot more, but also being a lot more costly to manufacture. We might as well go ahead and create the next tier. There was a bug in Tekkit Classic, I think it was, that allowed you to cheat more of these out, but that's been long gone, I'm sorry to say. So in order to fill this up, we place it over here, and it's got all of our EMC in it now. And we can put it back in by placing it inside of here, possibly? Yeah. You just get it, fill it, dump it, get it, fill it, dump it. You get the idea. I don't actually want to take all the EMC with me, so I'm going to get a smaller one, fill it up to max, and then we're going to build the Destruction Catalyst. So we're going to need 4 more of these. We're also going to need a flint and steel, which hopefully ended up inside of here. And then finally, we're going to need TNT blocks to create the Nova Catalyst. So 4 more of those, or actually, wait, how many goes into this? Yeah, 4 more of those. And then TNT is sand. Okay, that's a weird thing to not have in here. Gunpowder, though? Thank goodness. Just grab a stack of it. While we wait on the sun to set so that we can sleep before going to get sand, let's make a diamond shovel, simply because we can. This is a big moment. This is the last piece of sand we will probably ever pick up for the sake of needing it for a recipe. Now, we'll probably dig up more sand during construction in the future, but never again for this purpose. Diamond shovel, sand, give me a stack of it, and we'll go down here and create TNT. Okay, well that was weird. I shift-clicked the recipe, which puts all of these in here by default. Interesting. So the reason it's doing that is because it will automatically feed in more things from down here into up here. You can clear it with that button. I wonder what the sand... This must be related in some way. I have no explanations for that right now. Maybe in the future, but we're going to need 4 of these, I believe it said. So those together will create the Nova Catalysts, and we're actually getting 2 for each recipe use. I kind of want to demonstrate one of these, though. We're going to go down into the mines, and we're going to set this off. Not too deep. All right, we're going to set this thing off, and gosh, it blew up a lot faster than I expected. We were barely safe, as you can see. Just a bit bigger than TNT by itself. Oh. Oh. Okay. Actually, quite a bit bigger, now that I'm realizing. How were we safe? I guess the center of destruction was here, and it went in kind of an egg shape. Jeez. Looks like all of the ladder survived, though. So that's useful. Gonna need more torches down there. So now you know, if you have friends and you don't like them, go Nova Catalyst to their base. We got so much cobblestone from that explosion. That's nuts. Okay. Back to what we were doing, which is building the Destruction Catalyst. Nice. And we can teach that in there. We've got our Klein Star as a fuel source. We also need some torches. Get a stack of those. Get a divining rod as well. So this one will go up to 64 blocks, which mightn't be very useful. If you were mining, I should clarify, it might not be very useful if you were mining with a pickaxe, because if an object is 64 blocks away, you mining all the way there to get it with a pickaxe, that's going to take a really long time. The Destruction Catalyst, though, be so careful with this. A single right click will get rid of a 3x3x1, so 1 being the depth. I guess that would be 1x3x3. You can charge it up, though, with V, and it gets very more destructive. Now, in previous versions, it would actually drop everything as a little black orb, so you wouldn't actually know what you were picking up, and that was really useful on less powerful computers, but I guess the assumption now is that we're all rocking 8-core Ryzen processors, so we're probably good, and I guess that's true somewhat. So we will be consuming, right now we have 49,000 stored EMC. If we use that again, we have 49,288, 49,000 even. That is why you need a Klein Star to power this thing. We're not there yet, though, folks. We're not there yet, though. We can charge it up even further. And we can create tunnels that are very long. So I believe that is 16, and I think that's as far as it goes. That is why it pairs so well with this. Because even though, yes, it's got... you know what, let's go deeper first. As I was saying, this can go up to 64 blocks, which is a really long way to mine by hand. But if you have this, and it says, you know what? Your max 512, that's not a lot. I want to find a diamond. Oh, yeah, by the way, this shows you not only the max, but also what your second and third max tier item is. It's one of the features of having the biggest and the baddest of the Klein Stars. So I'm having trouble finding diamonds, but there's something in this direction worth 2,000. 64 blocks, though. It could be right behind this rock, or it could be the full 64 blocks away. A long way to dig, but to right-click this a couple times, that's 16, that's 32... Yeah, no, we're getting there. Look at that. And 64 blocks. And that took no time at all. Our inventory is pretty flooded right now, though, with random nonsense. So, oh, they're diamonds. We must have just skirted right past them. That's handy. We'll go grab those. We need some better inventory management. Some sort of bags to hold things. Some way to cancel out objects. But what I'm trying to get across here is that this is a really useful mining tool, and also very dangerous. Be so careful with this, because you can absolutely wreck your base. It's a bit messy to mine like this, because you're always picking up a, you know, a 3x3 area, even if you don't want to. But it is quick. I will also note, be careful when you're using this, because if you run out of energy inside of your Klein Star, it will just immediately start using certain objects from your inventory, so it might start using all of the coal, all of your redstone. There are certain items it will use and certain items it will not, but just be mindful that that might happen. Ooh, okay, we found diamonds in that direction. Right through here, I think it was. Let me double check. Yeah. So let's ramp this bad boy up and get going. Oh, hi there. I don't actually have any weapons to fight you with. You know what? We'll come back. We're gonna go. We don't need them that badly. Jeez. So this is gonna make... If you want to make a really long tunnel, the Destruction Catalyst is definitely the way to go. Maybe not great for precision mining. There are other things you can build for that. If you so desire, we could build electric ones from Industrial Craft. That might be a handy way to do things. But yeah, just Destruction Catalyst. I'm gonna go ahead and... I'm going to charge it down by holding down Shift and V. So I don't know if I mentioned that before, but V, as in Victor, as in Vicky, as in Veronica, as in Vector, not to be confused with Victor. That is how you charge it up with V, and then hold down Shift and press V to charge it down, and then make sure you don't right-click anything with it or you're in for a bad time. Let's go ahead and get rid of it. We'll just store it inside of there, along with anything else that'll hopefully store inside of here. Wow, well, we actually did everything we set out to do today. We really delved into magic, and we learned a lot, got some really interesting new items, and I don't know what to do next episode. I've been thinking about it. It'd be cool to have Swiftwolf's Rending Gale, but that's going to take a long time because it's very expensive. I mean, it's not that expensive, really. 559, and we're already up to 244. It'd be nice to have that in order to build a house, because that allows, so long as you have fuel in a Klein Star, for you to fly like you're in creative. And I really do need to build a nice house, so that might be something to work towards. I'll probably end up doing a lot of mining, because, I mean, look at this. We can use copper ingots to fatten up our EMC coffers, as it were. I'm gonna get one of these. No, I'm not. It's so expensive. I'm gonna get one of these. And toss it inside of here. Look, that last one's still going. But I think that's going to be what we end up working towards, is just getting as much as possible. Wait a minute. What was that thing called? Personal... I think it was like Personal EMC Link or something like that. There was a block. It was in Stone Block 2 that allowed you to take items, pump them into this block, and would automatically convert them into EMC, which was really handy. Doesn't look like we have that here, so our best bet is going to probably be building a condenser, just a regular energy condenser, and then piping items out of here into there and having them turn into diamonds or something, and then we get the diamonds out and put them into the Transmutation Table by ourselves. By the way, how much fuel do we have? Oh yeah, I forgot. If we want to empty this, you don't have to dump it into here. You can just pop it right there. That makes way more sense. But, okay. Maybe that's what we'll do next time. Maybe we'll look into automating so that we can start automatically processing all of the goods that we've mined up. I did just realize how quickly we could build a couple more of these if we wanted to before we went. I mean, look, because like getting 10 is just a matter of doing that. And look at that. Look how quickly we could build all those energy cells. That took like no time at all. Rubber does not have an EMC value, but sticky resin does. So there's no longer any need for us to collect sticky resin ourselves manually. We can just get it out of here and then cook it up inside of here and have not infinite rubber, but rubber on demand. And copper, we can get a stack of that if we wanted to. We don't need that much, but, you know, theoretically we could. Copper cables don't have a value either, which is really unfortunate, because that would make this whole procedure much quicker. Refined iron ingots do handy. I guess now's as good a time as any to point out that if something does not have EMC and you want it to, you can go into the configuration and manually alter it, but it's not really within the spirit of the game, is it? It's a little bit cheaty. At the end of the day, it's your Minecraft experience, and you can do whatever you want to, but I don't know about that. That feels a little bit wonky to me. I thought I was making 4 of these. What did I run out of? Copper cables! Now we have enough overclocker upgrades to run both of these with 4. And it looks like we're maintaining power, but are we in the bat box? Or is the bat box draining faster? Yeah. Than the generator can supply. We've gone over. We're going to have to find more ways to power this. We're going to need more than just a single generator. So we're going to need to move items in and out of these automatically. And we're also going to need to get more power. So I guess now we know exactly what we're going to be doing next time. Until then, thank you folks for watching. God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you later. Bye! Hounds. 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 Hounds.